Hello, I'm going to try and put my thoughts together on the New Balance Numeric 480 High. This is the suede. It's mostly a suede upper with leather accents, and the tongue is, I'm not quite sure what the tongue is, but it is not leather. The toe box is leather, and everything else is suede. It has a what New Balance says a fuel cell foam and a very durable rubber sole and outsole. It is a cup sole. The only way I can describe this shoe is basically like a less stiff dunk. Like this feels indestructible. Like the upper feels really good. The padding feels really good. The upper collar of the only way I can describe the upper collar or the opening of the shoe is if you've ever had like the Mike Carroll. It reminds me of like a Mike Carroll, like a cup sole version of this shoe, which if they had done something like hidden lace loop, hidden lace loops would be great, but I haven't really even, they're so far out of the way that I haven't touched them, the laces at all. I haven't touched the laces, and I've skated these shoes the same amount of time as I've skated the Ashad 2s or Ashad Wear Airs, and I have significant wear on these. And I skated these I remember skating these for a week straight, like 7 days straight for approximately 2 hours. I want to say 2 hours. I might have skated these a little bit more, but these are a thin cup sole, whereas these are a foam. These are a thicker, more kind of, these are thin. Like if I take out the insole that I put in, these things fold in half, which I love. I really like these shoes. I'll make another video on my follow-up thoughts on the Ashad 2s, but right now, these I can only describe as, I initially wrote down like indestructible, but they're not indestructible. They're very durable, and the foam feels so good. The foam actually gives a good intermediary kind of like squish. I don't jump down things like I used to. I do mostly flat ground, and every once in a while I'll do a flat or a slant rail. But other than that, like, I can see why Andrew Reynolds really likes this shoe. I first tried these, but the leather just did not give. These did not fit. They did not feel like they fit to my foot, whereas these fit to my foot immediately. Even though the downside is this insole, like, what's that compared to like the Leo Baker? Like, this is an actual insole. But I mean, you can put in your own insole in this. There is 0 straps for the tongue. There are 0 straps. The tongue does slide around a lot, but I don't feel it as much. My only downside is with this shoe is the upper gets really loose, and it feels like, I like my shoes tight, usually not super tight, but tighter than normal. I don't like my shoe like super loose where it'll fall off my foot when I'm trying to do a kickflip or a tray flip or like a switch something. But I noticed the more I wore them, the looser they got, which could be good if you put them on initially and they feel tight. They do stretch out. they definitely do. The upper does stretch out. The suede is really fucking nice to the point where, like, if you're feeling like, oh, I have a little bit of pain here or pain here, it goes away. The shoe definitely is made for a lot of foot shapes and styles, I guess, of wearing the shoe. I think this isn't as durable as the Tiago 808, but this isn't a stiff cupsole. It's a kind of a two-part cupsole with a foam cupsole, and I really, really like this shoe. I think this is a number 2 to the Ishod 2. The Ishod 2 is my go-to shoe now for if I want to do technical stuff and like learn new tricks. But this is my number 2 for like a good like mid-high top shoe. This may deter some people from if they get shark bite or Achilles stuff, but I feel like it guards enough and it gives your foot enough maneuverability to not suffocate your foot, as opposed to the 440 V2. The 440 V2, if you're looking for something that has ample, like it clamps your foot down, and a high top and a cupsole, I don't think this is a foam. I think this is just a straight up rubber cupsole. I don't think there's any technology in it aside from it being like a really, really durable cupsole. If you're looking for more of ankle support, get this shoe. But if you're looking at the 480 high and you're like, oh, I don't know, I would suggest getting the suede one. The suede feels really good. I don't like the leather New Balance ones. They take a long time to break in, whereas the suede, I don't know what suede they use. It feels like a longer, hairy, it feels like a longer suede, a very nice suede, and it definitely lasts. I'm able to pretty consistently on multiple board shapes, mostly egg shapes, but as well as popsicles, because I'm mostly skating the Heroin 8.75 and now trying to incorporate the 9.1 and 9.25 into the, I'm trying to ride bigger boards now, but this is, even with messing with the different board shapes, the shoe is good. I like it. And if you're on the fence, at least try it on. Like, and if it's like, oh, it feels a little tight, it will stretch out. It, like, immediately. It will, if within like the first like hour of kind of doing flat ground or just skating around or cruising, I would suggest like cruising in these first, because that's what I did. The first hour was just kind of like cruising and then flat ground and slappies. That's all I did with these, and these were so comfortable in just doing slappies. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. The sole is completely different compared to, I've skated these about the same, and I don't think it'll show, but I have like a tiny hole forming, and these are different. These are a thin cup sole. I don't really feel or see any wear on these. I will continue to skate these.